Alright, welcome back to ReZero Anime Review, episode number 58. We are here reviewing episode number... If I can find a thing here, here we go. This is episode number 53, Gorgeous Tiger. This adapts from the rest of chapter 2, most of the way through chapter 3, and gets a little more further in chapter 4. Like, it actually adapts, like, the second quarter of the book. So here's what happens in the episode. Well, we leave off from last week, where Subaru has, well, he's basically where Regulus is still having Emilia in his arms. Of course, they introduce each other, though Subaru actually has his last name in here. Not in the book, but it's fine. And then, of course, basically, like, he tries to stop him. Of course, he ends up failing. And then, of course, at one point he uses, get this, one of Portuguese's hidden hands. Because when he killed Portuguese back in season 1 of the show, it's revealed in season 2, they inherited his power, the authority of sloth, which includes the invisible hands. And they punch Regulus in the face. And Regulus, he fell in love with her. And of course, Subaru's got a thing for her too. He's like, oh, I think he groomed her aside. But as a, basically, payback for being rude to me, he proceeds to blow part of his leg off. I'm like, damn. By the way, in Sirius sees him use the hidden hands, like, oh, I found you, my Portuguese. It's like, yes. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, they claim they found them, and of course, leave you for now. And, like, and his eyes are basically red for some reason, and everybody else gets wounded, and the Beatrice proceeds to heal everybody. And meanwhile, though, while this is going on, we see Otto getting some sweets, and then we see a guard get killed by the Archbishop of Gluttony, Lyle, who has not been seen since the opening episode of season 2. Which, in terms of books, this is actually his first appearance since book 9. And he's a primary player in this arc and the following arc of the series. And this person refers to him as we. No, it's not transgender. No, this person is not, like, non-binary. That's not the case with him. No. You see, according to Otto, this is a little bit later. Actually, I'm not going to spoil it because basically, that's a spoiler for a little bit later. Because there's a secret about Lyle and why he refers up as we. So, and then, before we talk about when Sue wakes up, then we see, get this, so, we see a flashback picking up right where he was last seen in the end of the very first episode, where Garfield, he reunites with his, supposedly dead mother, who died in the flashback in the previous season of the show. He is shocked the fact that she's even alive. And of course they have tea, and of course Meebus drinking no problem, and of course the kids want him to stay, but he has to go. And then he meets her husband, I think his name is, let's see if we can find his name here. Yeah, by the way, in the case of his mom, it really would be Risha. Okay, her husband's name is Garrick Thompson. Of course, he just introduced him as Gorgeous Tiger. Then he proceeds to leave. And then, of course, Garrett catches up with him and asks him basically, what's your relationship with my wife? Says there's no view. And, of course, he mentions basically about her real name. And, of course, he doesn't tell him that his wife is his long-lost mother. And, of course, she shows up, gives him sweets. Mimi's like, we're happy to give sweets. And then, of course, he starts crying. Well, actually, Mimi asked him to cry because basically he's holding it for quite a while. The fact his own mother forgot him. Because it's revealed that this is from what I can tell, this is a bit of a retcon that they included here. Because it's clearly shown she died, and then Garrick revealed a flashback that apparently 15 years prior to the series, he actually found her, and she has suffered amnesia. She had a partial name tag on her, so they referred to her as real. So then, of course, he married her, and she gave him 2 kids, Fred and Raphael. Yes. And I would think by him looking at Garfield that he would realize, though, that he is staring at his stepson. He doesn't realize it. You would think he's got the same face as his mother. And yet he doesn't put 2 and 2 together yet. He may have figured out at one point, but maybe we just want to leave him alone. By the way, he's seeing illusions of Elsa, the assassin killed from the previous season, like he did in the first episode. And then he comes down next day, where then, of course, they overhear another Sin Archbishop. This one, the Archbishop of Lust. And what is her name, you might ask? Her name is Capella Emerdia Lugina, the Archbishop of Lust. Or she has taken over the city's intercom. Elsa, yes. So, basically, like, and then we cut to Subaru where he's waking up at Witch Cult for basically the HQ, read by Al, and then of course he sees Fel, so he proceeds to heal his leg, and his leg remains. By the way, I should point out though his leg remains bandaged up throughout the remainder of the story arc, like it does not get removed. Also, they do make a change here in this scene, where in the book, according to illustration, he removed his jacket, his tracksuit he wears. Here in the anime, they actually keep it on. I'm not really sure exactly why White Fox did this. My guess is they probably kept it on him, and this is my personal theory. Probably for the image of Subaru. It's like, if he's not wearing a suit, he's wearing this tracksuit because that's basically it's his iconic image. It's probably for imagery purposes. That's probably the reason why they kept on this. But I think he should easily move because I'm sure it's pretty warm in the city. Yes. And then he goes to a meeting where he meets up with Crouch, Wilfred, Anastasia. And basically Anastasia feels, so the city was built to trap somebody. Who? A witch. Also, they revealed that the witches' cult is, well, they're pretty much in the city, of course, the archbishops are there. They have taken the 4 control towers. I'm like, okay, interesting. So, that's where they leave off there. Who this witch is, they're not going to reveal that. I'm not going to reveal that just yet because they'll probably reveal that next week, presumably. Yep, and that's the episode. Absolutely fantastic episode. I would say it's interesting though. They kind of intercut basically the stuff with Garfield with the, because I would say some of the stuff in this book is told in a bit out of order. Basically, it's like they go over the place. Here, I think they present it more in more of a chronological order, or at least basically because some stuff is happening, and because they don't exactly, it's like they put stuff in a particular order because they happen around the same time each other. That's probably the reason why they were able to get what they did with this episode, which I love it. I really do. I do think it's interesting. Like, of course, yes, I did review the book. I did review this book a few years ago when it came out, but I am loving this episode. It just, like I said, it's fantastic. And with that, I am officially all caught up. It only took 4 days, but I got everything done. Yep, everything is done. So the only video planned for tomorrow is to review the newest episode of Is It Veronica Goes Dungeon, which, yes, I did technically view that yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday I reviewed it, I think it was. Yeah, I viewed it just yesterday, and now I'm going to review the newest episode. Even though it's been 2 days, but it's fine. Oh, and by the way, for the first time since March, no new episodes Friday. Yes, so next thing for Crunchyroll watch probably is going to be Case Closed, and that's on Saturday, so it won't be anything for 2 days. Yep, so until see you all tomorrow, also please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, notification, and do the dislike button. Bye.